Stop everything you're doing right now. What I'm about to reveal will either transform you into the master of your financial destiny or expose you as another casualty in the war between success and failure. There is no middle ground. There is no comfortable neutrality. You will either rise to claim your birthright of abundance, or you will sink deeper into the quicksand of financial mediocrity that has already claimed millions of souls before you. This is not a sermon. This is a surgical operation on your consciousness. I am about to cut away the cancerous beliefs that have been eating away at your potential for decades. Some of you will thank me. Others will hate me for forcing you to confront the brutal truth about why you're broke, why you're struggling, and why you've been living as a financial slave in a world that rewards only those who understand and apply these immutable laws. Welcome to the most uncomfortable hour of your life. Welcome to your financial liberation. And welcome to Timbuktu Lectures, a production of Kilimanjaro News Network, the authentic voice of Africa. We studied the lives of over 25,000 men and women who achieved extraordinary success, and I can tell you this with mathematical certainty. Every single one from Nelson Mandela, Aliko Dangoteh, Mo Ibrahim to Barack Obama understood and applied the 11 commandments of financial freedom. That made the difference between them and the masses who live lives of quiet desperation. They understood these laws that I'm about to reveal to you. Pay attention. Before we dive into these laws, let me destroy the most dangerous lie ever told, that success is a matter of luck, connections, or circumstances beyond your control. This lie has murdered more dreams than war, famine, and disease combined. Barack Obama, remember him? A man with the middle name Hussein in post-9/11 America. A man who lost his first political race so badly that his opponent received more votes than there were registered voters in some precincts. A man whose law license was inactive, whose marriage was strained by financial pressure, who was rejected by the Democratic National Convention in 2000, they wouldn't even let him on the floor. His credit cards were maxed out. His car was repossessed. His wife questioned his priorities. Yet this same man, armed with nothing but an understanding of these laws, became the most powerful person on earth. How? Not through luck. Not through connections handed to him on a silver platter. Through the ruthless application of principles that work whether you believe in them or not. The game is rigged, but not in the way you think. It's rigged in favor of those who understand the rules. Today, you learn the rules. Are you ready? Law 1, the tyranny of definite purpose. A goal is a dream with a deadline and a price tag. Most of you think you have goals. You don't. You have wishes. You have fantasies. You have the mental equivalent of cotton candy, sweet, appealing, and completely without substance. A definite purpose is different. It's specific. It's measurable. It's written in blood and carved in stone. It's so clear that a stranger could read your goal and tell you exactly whether you've achieved it or not. Aliko Dangoteh didn't dream of being successful or wealthy. At age 20, he set a specific goal to build Africa's largest cement company within 20 years. Notice the specificity. Notice the deadline. Notice the measurable outcome. When he started, Nigeria imported 95% of its cement. Today, his company supplies cement to 17 African countries and exports to Asia. But here's what separates Dangoteh from every dreamer who ever lived. He paid the price in advance. While others were socializing, he was studying market reports. While others were partying, he was building relationships with suppliers. While others were complaining about corruption, he was learning to navigate it legally and ethically. I have an assignment for you. Do this now. Write down your definite financial goal. Not "I want to be rich." Write, "I will accumulate X amount of dollar by a specific date, by providing specific service to a specific market." If you cannot complete this sentence with laser precision, you don't have a goal, you have a fantasy. And here's the part that will separate you from 99% of the population: what will you give in return? The universe is not a charity. It's a business. What value will you create? What service will you provide? What problem will you solve? Obama understood this. His definite purpose wasn't just to become president. It was to unite a divided America by a specific date, through specific policies that would create specific outcomes. He knew exactly what he would give in return: his time, his family's privacy, his personal comfort, and his political career if necessary. Here is an uncomfortable truth I must share with you. If your purpose doesn't make you uncomfortable, it's too small. If it doesn't require you to become someone you've never been before, it's worthless. Let's proceed to Law 2, faith, the most expensive investment you'll never see. Faith is the only known antidote to failure. Faith is not religion. Faith is not positive thinking. Faith is not hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. Faith is the unwavering conviction that your definite purpose is already accomplished in the spiritual realm and must, by natural law, manifest in the physical realm. This is where most people reveal themselves as amateurs. They say they have faith, but their actions scream doubt. They plan for success but prepare for failure. They dream of wealth but budget for poverty. Mo Ibrahim had faith when he invested $900 million of his own money to create the Ibrahim Prize for Achievement in African Leadership, the world's largest annual prize for any individual. People called him crazy. African leaders don't change, they said. Corruption is too deeply rooted, they said. You'll never see that money again, they said. Ibrahim didn't argue with them. He simply acted on his faith. Today, the prize has changed the conversation around African leadership. Former presidents now compete for the honor. Young leaders across the continent now have a new standard to aspire to. Ibrahim's faith became reality through his actions. Here is a step-by-step guide for you to adopt to build unshakable faith to guarantee success. The faith formula. 1. Auto-suggestion. Repeat your definite purpose twice daily with complete conviction. 2. Visualization. See yourself already in possession of your goal. 3. Emotion. Feel the emotions you will experience when you achieve your purpose. 4. Action. Act as if your success is inevitable. Obama mastered this. In 2004, after his DNC speech, people began saying he should run for president. His response? I am running for president. Not I might run or I'm thinking about it. Present tense. Definite. Certain. When reporters asked him about his thin resume, his response was telling: I wouldn't be running if I didn't believe I was the right person for the job. Not hope. Not think. Believe. Here is an uncomfortable truth I must make you aware of. Your faith will be tested. The universe will throw everything it has at you to see if you really believe. Most people fail this test. They take the first no as a sign from God. They interpret the first obstacle as evidence they're on the wrong path. Your faith must be stronger than your circumstances. This means when your bank account shows zero, you must think like a millionaire. When others doubt your abilities, you must act with unwavering confidence. When obstacles appear insurmountable, you must proceed with the certainty of eventual victory. Law 3, the furnace of burning desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Burning desire is not want. It's not need. It's not even strong preference. Burning desire is the state of mind where your goal becomes more important than your comfort, more compelling than your excuses, and more urgent than your fears. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. 27 years. Let that sink in. Most people can't stick to a diet for 27 days. Mandela maintained his burning desire for a free South Africa for nearly 3 decades while breaking rocks in a limestone quarry. But here's what most people don't know about Mandela's story: he wasn't consumed by hatred, he was consumed by vision. Every day in that cell, he visualized a new South Africa. He saw black and white children playing together. He saw a nation where a person's character mattered more than their color. He saw himself not as a victim of apartheid, but as the architect of its destruction. When he was released, reporters expected him to be bitter, angry, vengeful. Instead, he was focused. Determined. Ready. Because his desire had been burning so long and so hot that it had forged him into exactly the leader South Africa needed. Obama's burning desire. Obama's desire wasn't ignited by success, it was forged in failure. After his devastating loss in the 2000 congressional race, most politicians would have retreated to safer ground. Obama's desire intensified. He spent the next 3 years studying every aspect of national politics, building relationships across racial and party lines, and preparing for a moment that might never come. His friends thought he was obsessed. His wife thought he was neglecting his family. His colleagues thought he was delusional. But Obama understood something they didn't. Burning desire transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Do you have a burning desire? Are you prepared to put that to the test? Right. Here's the desire intensity test. Ask yourself these questions. Do you think about your goal first thing in the morning and last thing at night? Are you willing to sacrifice your comfort to achieve it? Do you talk about it so much that people think you're obsessed? Would you pursue it even if no one believed in you? If you answered no to any of these questions, you don't have burning desire. You have lukewarm preference. And lukewarm preference produces lukewarm results. The uncomfortable truth, your desire must be so intense that failure becomes impossible. Not because circumstances guarantee your success, but because your desire won't allow you to quit. Most people's desires are not strong enough to overcome their fears. That's why most people are broke. Law for specialized knowledge, the currency of the new economy. Knowledge is only potential power. Here's a fact that will make you uncomfortable. You are probably not as smart as you think you are, and you definitely don't know as much as you need to know. The good news? Neither did any of the ultra-successful people you admire. The difference is they did something about it. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie didn't become a world-renowned author by accident. She spent years studying the craft of writing, analyzing the works of masters, attending workshops, getting rejected by publishers, and refining her voice. When Half of a Yellow Sun was published, it wasn't her first book, it was her best book, built on a foundation of specialized knowledge accumulated over decades. But here's what separates Adichie from millions of aspiring writers: she didn't just acquire knowledge, she organized it for practical application. She studied not just literature, but publishing, marketing, and international distribution. She understood that talent without business knowledge is poverty with a college degree. Obama's knowledge acquisition strategy: Obama understood that his Harvard law degree was just the entry fee, not the prize. After graduation, instead of joining a high-paying corporate law firm, he deliberately chose positions that would give him specialized knowledge in 3 critical areas. 1. Community organizing, to understand grassroots politics. 2. Civil rights law, to understand the intersection of law and social change. 3. State legislature, to understand how legislation actually gets passed. Each position paid less than the previous job offers, but each provided knowledge that would prove invaluable when he ran for higher office. While his law school classmates were accumulating wealth, Obama was accumulating the specialized knowledge that would make him president. The type of knowledge matters. Here's the knowledge hierarchy. 1. General knowledge, what everyone knows, worthless. 2. Specialized knowledge, what experts know, valuable. 3. Applied specialized knowledge, what experts do, invaluable. 4. Organized specialized knowledge, what leaders teach, priceless. Dangoteh's knowledge mastery: Dangoteh didn't just learn about cement manufacturing. He studied raw material sourcing across Africa, government regulations in 17 countries, currency fluctuations and hedging strategies, labor management in different cultures, environmental compliance requirements, logistics and transportation networks. This specialized knowledge allowed him to see opportunities that others missed and avoid pitfalls that destroyed his competitors. Let's conduct an audit of your knowledge. 1. What do you know that 95% of people don't know? 2. How can you apply that knowledge to create value? 3. What knowledge do you need that you don't currently possess? 4. Who has the knowledge you need, and how will you acquire it? Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. In the information age, ignorance is a choice. Every piece of knowledge you need is available somewhere. Your poverty is not a result of lack of opportunity, it's a result of lack of knowledge. And your lack of knowledge is a result of lack of commitment to learning. Law 5, the Mastermind Alliance, your personal board of directors. No individual may have great power without availing himself of the mastermind. No man ever rose to power alone. Behind every empire, every fortune, every revolution was a mastermind, a coalition of minds moving in perfect harmony towards a single burning goal. This is no theory. This is law. And if you understand it, truly use it, you will not rise slowly. You will rise exponentially. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're not happy with your financial situation, look at your closest friends. If they're not where you want to be financially, you found your problem. Mandela's Mastermind Alliance, Mandela's success wasn't a solo act. He carefully cultivated relationships with Walter Sisulu, his political mentor who taught him strategy. Oliver Tambo, his law partner who handled international relations. Thabo Mbeki, his intellectual equal who managed negotiations. Cyril Ramaphosa, his business-minded protege who understood economics. Each person brought specialized knowledge and connections that Mandela couldn't access alone. Together, they didn't just end apartheid, they managed a peaceful transition that most experts thought was impossible. Obama's strategic network, Obama's Mastermind Alliance, was meticulously constructed. David Axelrod, master of political messaging. Rahm Emanuel, expert in legislative tactics. Valerie Jarrett, connector to Chicago's power structure. Robert Gibbs, media relations specialist. David Plouffe, campaign organization genius. Notice the pattern? Each person filled a specific gap in Obama's knowledge or capabilities. This wasn't networking, this was strategic alliance building. The mastermind principles. 1. Harmony of purpose, all members must share a common objective. 2. Complementary skills, each member brings unique capabilities. 3. Mutual benefit, everyone gains from the alliance. 4. Regular communication, consistent contact maintains the bond. 5. Confidentiality, trust is the foundation of all relationships. Dangoteh's business network. Dangoteh's mastermind includes government officials across Africa, regulatory knowledge. International bankers, financing strategies. Technical experts, operational efficiency. Marketing specialists, brand development. Logistics coordinators, distribution networks. What you should consider when building your mastermind alliance. 1. Identify your weaknesses. Where do you need help? 2. Find people who are strong where you are weak. 3. Determine what value you can provide to them. 4. Approach them with a specific proposal for mutual benefit. 5. Meet regularly and maintain consistent communication. The uncomfortable truth: if you're trying to succeed alone, you're not ambitious, you're arrogant. Every person who has achieved significant financial success has had help. The question is not whether you need help, but whether you're humble enough to ask for it and valuable enough to receive it. Law 6, decisive action, the great separator. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. This is where dreams go to die. In the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. You know what you should do. You've known for months, maybe years. You've researched, planned, analyzed, and discussed. You've attended seminars, read books, and watched videos. So why are you still broke? Because you haven't moved from preparation to execution. Obama's decisive moment. In February 2007, Obama had a choice. He could wait another 8 years for a better opportunity, or he could challenge the most qualified Democratic candidate in a generation, Hillary Clinton. His advisors were split. The polls showed him 30 points behind. The smart money said wait. Obama made the decision in less than 48 hours. Not because he had all the answers, but because he understood that timing beats perfection every time. By the time he would have been ready by conventional standards, the opportunity would have belonged to someone else. Dangoteh's $16 billion bet. In 2010, Dangoteh made the largest single investment in African industrial history, $16 billion to build the Dangoteh refinery. Critics said it was too big, too risky, too ambitious. The project faced regulatory delays, financing challenges, and technical complications. Dangoteh's response? He accelerated construction. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, he created them. When banks hesitated to lend, he used his own capital. When regulators stalled, he hired local experts. When technical problems arose, he brought in international consultants. Result? The largest single-train petroleum refinery in the world, capable of meeting 100% of Nigeria's refined petroleum needs with surplus for export. The action principles. 1. Speed of implementation, first-mover advantage is real. 2. Imperfect action, done is better than perfect. 3. Continuous adjustment, course correct while moving. 4. Momentum creation, action creates energy, energy creates results. The 72-hour rule: when you have a business idea or opportunity, you have 72 hours to take the first concrete action. After 72 hours, the probability of action decreases by 40%. After 1 week, it decreases by 75%. After 1 month, the idea is effectively dead. Breaking through analysis paralysis. 1. Set a decision deadline. 2. Gather essential information only. 3. Make the decision. 4. Act immediately. 5. Adjust based on results. Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. Your current financial situation is a direct result of the actions you've taken and the actions you've avoided. Every day you delay taking action is a day you remain in your current circumstances. The market doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel confident. Success doesn't wait for you to feel prepared. Law 7. Organized planning, the architecture of success. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Plans are worthless. Planning is invaluable. The difference? Plans are static documents that become obsolete the moment reality interferes. Planning is a dynamic process that adapts to changing circumstances while maintaining focus on the ultimate objective. Mandela's 30-year plan. Mandela didn't just fight apartheid, he planned its destruction and South Africa's reconstruction. Even in prison, he was planning. Phase 1. Survive imprisonment while maintaining dignity. Phase 2. Prepare for negotiations from a position of strength. Phase 3. Lead the transition to majority rule. Phase 4. Establish the foundations of a democratic society. Phase 5. Ensure peaceful transfer of power to the next generation. Each phase had specific objectives, timelines, and success metrics. When he was released in 1990, he didn't need time to figure out what to do, he already had a plan. Obama's campaign master plan. Obama's 2008 campaign was a masterpiece of organized planning. 18 months before announcement, build national name recognition. 12 months before announcement, secure major donors and endorsements. 6 months before announcement, assemble campaign team. Campaign launch, dominate Iowa and New Hampshire. Super Tuesday, win enough delegates to be competitive. Convention, unite the party behind his candidacy. General election, win swing states through superior organization. Every milestone had specific tactics, budgets, and responsible parties. When Hillary Clinton's campaign ran out of money after Super Tuesday, Obama's campaign had already planned and budgeted for a 50-state strategy through the convention. Dangoteh's industrial empire blueprint. Dangoteh's expansion across Africa followed a methodical plan. 1. Market analysis. Identify countries with growing demand and weak supply. 2. Government relations. Build relationships with key officials. 3. Local partnerships. Find reliable local partners. 4. Infrastructure development. Build factories and distribution networks. 5. Market dominance. Achieve number 1 or number 2 market position. 6. Reinvestment, use profits to expand to next country. This template allowed him to replicate success across 17 countries in multiple industries. The planning framework. 1. Vision statement, what does success look like? 2. Strategic objectives, what must be accomplished? 3. Tactical plans, how will objectives be achieved? 4. Resource allocation, what resources are required? 5. Timeline, when will each phase be completed? 6. Metrics, how will progress be measured? 7. Contingencies, what if things don't go as planned? The weekly planning ritual, every successful person has a weekly planning ritual. Here's the framework. Monday, review progress from previous week. Tuesday through Thursday, execute planned activities. Friday, adjust plans based on results. Weekend, plan for the following week. Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. Most people spend more time planning their vacation than planning their financial future. They research restaurants, compare hotel prices, and create detailed itineraries for a one-week trip, but they have no written plan for achieving financial freedom. Your spontaneous approach to wealth creation is why you don't have any wealth to speak of. Law 8. Persistence, the great equalizer. Every adversity carries with it the seed of equivalent advantage. Persistence is not about being stubborn. It's not about grinding harder. It's not about ignoring feedback or refusing to adapt. Persistence is the intelligent application of continuous pressure in the direction of your definite purpose, regardless of temporary setbacks. Obama's political persistence. 1995, lost Chicago City Council race. 1996, won Illinois State Senate, learned from previous defeat. 2000, lost U.S. House race by 31 percentage points. 2004, won U.S. Senate race, applied lessons from House defeat. 2008, won presidency, used Senate platform to build national profile. Notice the pattern? Each defeat became a laboratory for the next victory. Obama didn't just persist, he persisted intelligently, learning from each setback and applying those lessons to his next campaign. The Mandela persistence model, Mandela's 27 years in prison could have broken him. Instead, they forged him. But here's what most people don't understand about Mandela's persistence: he used his time in prison to become the leader South Africa would need after apartheid. While in prison, Mandela studied Afrikaans to understand his oppressors. Read biographies of great leaders throughout history. Developed relationships with his guards and wardens. Wrote letters to government officials proposing negotiations. Prepared for the day when he would be released. When he finally walked out of prison, he wasn't the same angry young man who had been imprisoned. He was a statesman, a negotiator, a unifier, exactly what the situation required. Dangoteh's business persistence. Dangote's path to becoming Africa's richest man was not smooth. 1977, started with a $3,000 loan from his uncle. 1980s, nearly went bankrupt during Nigeria's economic crisis. 1990s, lost major contracts due to political changes. 2000s, faced intense competition from international companies. 2010s, dealt with currency devaluations across Africa. Each crisis could have ended his business. Instead, each crisis made his business stronger because Dangoteh understood the difference between temporary setbacks and permanent defeats. The persistence principles. 1. Definite purpose, know exactly what you're persisting toward. 2. Flexible methods, change your approach, not your goal. 3. Learning orientation, extract lessons from every setback. 4. Resource management, preserve resources for the long haul. 5. Emotional regulation, don't let temporary defeats create permanent discouragement. The setback recovery framework, when you encounter a setback. 1. Assess the situation objectively, what actually happened. 2. Extract the lesson, what can you learn from this? 3. Adjust your approach, how will you do it differently? 4. Recommit to your purpose, why is this goal still important? 5. Take immediate action, what's the next step? Here is an uncomfortable truth you should be aware of. Most people quit 3 feet from gold. They persist just long enough to encounter serious resistance, then they interpret that resistance as a sign they should quit. But resistance is not rejection, it's redirection. The universe is not trying to stop you, it's trying to strengthen you. Your ability to persist through the inevitable setbacks is the only thing that separates you from everyone else who had the same dream but gave up too soon. Law 9, Fear Destruction. Liberating your imprisoned potential. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the prison guard. It's the voice that whispers, "You're not qualified, you're too young, you're too old, you don't have the right connections, you don't have enough experience, you'll lose everything, people will laugh at you." Fear killed more dreams than failure ever did. Obama's fear confrontation. Imagine the fears Obama faced running for president. Fear of being seen as not American enough. Fear of being too inexperienced for the job. Fear of his family's safety. Fear of being the first black president to fail. Fear of the enormous responsibility. But Obama understood something crucial: fear is always stronger in imagination than in reality. The anticipation of failure is always worse than failure itself. Mandela's fear transformation. For 27 years, Mandela faced the ultimate fear, that he would die in prison and never see his dream realized. Lesser men would have been consumed by this fear. Mandela transformed it into fuel. He wrote, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." The 6 basic fears that keep you broke. 1. Fear of poverty. Ironically, this fear guarantees poverty. 2. Fear of criticism, caring more about others' opinions than your own success. 3. Fear of ill health, using health as an excuse to avoid challenges. 4. Fear of loss of love, choosing security over growth. 5. Fear of old age, believing it's too late to start. 6. Fear of death, living so safely that you never truly live. Dangoteh's fear management. When Dangoteh decided to build Africa's largest refinery, he faced enormous fears. Fear of the $16 billion investment failing. Fear of regulatory problems. Fear of technical challenges beyond his expertise. Fear of market changes making the refinery obsolete. His solution? Replace fear with preparation. Instead of being paralyzed by what could go wrong, he systematically addressed each potential problem before it became actual. The Fear Destruction Protocol. 1. Name the fear specifically. What exactly are you afraid of? 2. Analyze the worst-case scenario. What's the worst that could really happen? 3. Develop contingency plans. How would you handle the worst case? 4. Focus on the best-case scenario. What could go right? 5. Take action despite the fear. Action is the ultimate fear destroyer. The fear to faith transformation. Fear says, "What if I fail?" Faith says, "What if I succeed?" Fear says, "I don't have enough experience." Faith says, "I'll gain experience by doing." Fear says, "I might lose everything." Faith says, "I might gain everything." Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. Your fears are not protecting you, they're imprisoning you. Every day you allow fear to make your decisions is another day you remain exactly where you are. The things you're most afraid of are usually the things you most need to do. Your fears are a roadmap to your breakthrough. Law 10, Subconscious Command, Programming Your Success Mechanism. Whatever you impress upon your subconscious mind, it will move heaven and earth to bring into reality. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful force in your life, and most people are completely unaware of how to use it. They've programmed it with years of negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, and failure expectations. Then they wonder why their life reflects those programs. Obama's mental programming. From early in his political career, Obama used a simple but powerful technique. He would visualize himself giving speeches to larger and larger audiences. First, he visualized speaking to 100 people, then 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000. By the time he actually spoke to 200,000 people in Berlin in 2008, his subconscious mind had already accepted this as normal. His nervous system was prepared. His confidence was unshakable. Mandela's prison visualization. During his imprisonment, Mandela would spend hours each day visualizing himself walking out of prison as a free man, then leading South Africa as its president. He would imagine the details, what he would wear, what he would say, how he would feel. When he actually walked out of prison in 1990, witnesses noted his remarkable composure. He moved like a man who had done this before, because in his mind, he had. The subconscious programming method. Your subconscious mind operates on 5 principles. 1. It cannot distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. 2. It accepts whatever you tell it most often and with the most emotion. 3. It works 24/7 to make your dominant thoughts into reality. 4. It controls your habits, behaviors, and automatic responses. 5. It connects you to opportunities and resources that align with your programming. Dangoteh's success visualization. Dangoteh has said that he visualizes his business goals as if they've already been achieved. He doesn't hope to expand into new markets, he sees himself already operating successfully in those markets. He doesn't wish for increased profits, he feels the satisfaction of already having achieved those profits. The daily programming ritual. Every morning and evening, follow this protocol. 1. Relax your body completely, tension blocks programming. 2. Visualize your goal as already achieved, see it, feel it, experience it. 3. Add emotional intensity, the subconscious responds to emotion, not logic. 4. Use present tense affirmations, I am not I will be. 5. Express gratitude, thank your subconscious for making it happen. Effective affirmations. Weak, I hope to be wealthy someday. Strong, I am attracting wealth through valuable service. Weak, I want to be successful. Strong, I am successfully building my empire. Weak, I wish I could afford that. Strong, I am increasing my income through increased value. The autosuggestion formula. Write your definite purpose on a card. Twice daily, read it aloud with complete faith and emotional intensity. As you read, visualize yourself already in possession of your goal. Feel the emotions you will experience when you achieve it. Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. You are already using the power of your subconscious mind, you're just using it against yourself. Every time you say, I can't afford it, you're programming poverty. Every time you say, I'm not good with money, you're programming financial failure. Every time you say rich people are greedy, you're programming yourself to reject wealth. Your subconscious is faithfully executing the programs you've given it. The question is, are you programming it for success or failure? Law 11, Wealth through Service, the multiplier effect. You can have everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. This is the law that separates temporary success from lasting legacy. This is the law that transforms selfish ambition into selfless impact. This is the law that creates not just wealth, but significance. Mandela's service legacy. Mandela could have used his presidency to enrich himself and his family. Many African leaders have done exactly that. Instead, he chose to serve. He served one term, established democratic institutions, and voluntarily stepped down, setting a precedent that strengthened democracy across Africa. But here's what most people miss about Mandela's approach to service. He understood that serving others was the fastest path to personal fulfillment and lasting influence. By serving South Africa's transition to democracy, he became immortal. His wealth wasn't measured in currency but in the lives he transformed. Obama's service philosophy. Obama's political career was built on a simple principle: I'm not running to be somebody, I'm running to do something. This service orientation attracted supporters, donors, and volunteers who believed in his mission, not just his ambition. Even after the presidency, Obama continues to serve through the Obama Foundation, focusing on developing the next generation of leaders. His wealth, both financial and social, continues to grow because his service continues to expand. Dangoteh's service-driven wealth. Dangoteh's business empire is built on solving problems for millions of people. Cement, providing affordable building materials for Africa's construction boom. Sugar, making sugar affordable for low-income families. Fertilizer, helping farmers increase crop yields. Refinery, reducing Africa's dependence on imported petroleum products. Each business solves a real problem for real people. The bigger the problem he solves, the bigger his profits become. The service-wealth connection. Your income is in direct proportion to 1. The number of people you serve. 2. How well you serve them. 3. How difficult it would be to replace your service. The service multiplication formula. Serve 10 people exceptionally equals small business income. Serve 100 people exceptionally equals professional income. Serve 1 million people exceptionally equals generational wealth. Serve 10 million people exceptionally equals global influence. Wangari Maathai's service empire. Maathai didn't set out to become wealthy in the traditional sense. She set out to solve the problem, deforestation and women's empowerment in Kenya. Through the Green Belt movement, she organized women to plant trees, over 51 million trees across Kenya. Her service created multiple forms of wealth. Environmental wealth, restored degraded land and watersheds. Social wealth, empowered thousands of women economically. Political wealth, became the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Financial wealth, created sustainable income for rural communities. The bigger her service became, the greater her influence grew. By the time of her death, she was internationally recognized as one of Africa's most important leaders. The service-first strategy, instead of asking how can I make money, ask 1. What problems do people have that I could solve? 2. What skills do I have that could benefit others? 3. What knowledge do I possess that others need? 4. What services are people already paying for that I could provide better? Mo Ibrahim's service revolution. Ibrahim built his telecommunications fortune by solving a simple problem, making mobile phones affordable in Africa. But his real legacy comes from his continued service through the Ibrahim Index, measuring governance quality across Africa. The Ibrahim Prize, rewarding excellent African leadership. The Ibrahim Foundation, supporting good governance initiatives. His wealth multiplied because his service multiplied. He didn't just build a company, he built an institution that continues to serve Africa's development. The service mindset shift. Scarcity thinking, how can I get more for myself? Service thinking, how can I give more value to others? Scarcity thinking, I need to protect my knowledge and secrets. Service thinking, I need to share my knowledge to help others succeed. Scarcity thinking, competition is the enemy. Service thinking, competition validates the market I'm serving. Here is an uncomfortable truth for you. You cannot outgive the universe. The more value you create for others, the more value flows back to you. This is not charity, this is commerce at its highest level. The wealthiest people in history understood that selfishness is actually self-defeating. The fastest way to get what you want is to help others get what they want. Your financial struggles are not because you're not smart enough or don't work hard enough, they're because you haven't found a way to serve enough people well enough. The hidden 12th law. The compound effect of consistency. Marginal gains. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. Here is the secret law, the key I promised you would find if you listened carefully. This is the principle that, once understood and applied, will liberate you forever from financial mediocrity. The compound effect is not just about money earning interest. It's about small, seemingly insignificant actions, repeated consistently over time, creating extraordinary results. Obama's daily disciplines. Obama's rise to the presidency wasn't the result of one brilliant speech or one perfect campaign. It was the result of daily disciplines practiced for over 20 years. Reading for 2 to 3 hours every day, even as president. Writing in his journal every morning. Exercising 6 days per week without exception. Spending uninterrupted time with his family every evening. Maintaining relationships through personal calls and notes. These weren't dramatic actions. They were boring, repetitive disciplines that compounded over time into extraordinary capability. Mandela's prison disciplines. What did Mandela do for 27 years in prison that prepared him to lead a nation? Physical discipline, exercise routine every morning. Mental discipline, study and reading for 4+ hours daily. Emotional discipline, daily meditation and reflection. Social discipline, building relationships with guards and fellow prisoners. Spiritual discipline, maintaining hope and vision despite circumstances. When he was released, these compounded disciplines had transformed him from an angry activist into a wise statesman. Dangoteh's business disciplines. Dangoteh's wealth wasn't built through lucky breaks or genius insights. It was built through relentless daily disciplines. Market analysis, reading industry reports every morning. Relationship building, making personal calls to key partners weekly. Operational oversight, reviewing performance metrics daily. Strategic planning, monthly strategic reviews with his mastermind alliance. Continuous learning, studying successful business models globally. The 1% rule, if you improve by just 1% every day for 1 year, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year. If you get worse by 1% every day for 1 year, you will decline to nearly zero. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year and dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years with consistent daily disciplines. The daily success ritual. Every morning, successful people perform some version of this ritual. 1. Review their definite purpose, 5 minutes. 2. Visualize their goals as achieved, 10 minutes. 3. Plan their most important activities, 10 minutes. 4. Learn something new in their field, 30 minutes. 5. Take action on their most important goal, 60+ minutes. This 115-minute morning ritual, practiced consistently, will transform your life more than any single dramatic action. The uncomfortable truth about consistency. You already have daily disciplines, they're just working against you. Checking social media multiple times per day. Watching television for hours each evening. Complaining about your circumstances. Making excuses for your lack of progress. Spending money on things you don't need. The compound effect is working, it's just compounding in the wrong direction. The final reckoning, your moment of truth. We have reached the end of our journey together, but this is not a conclusion, this is a commencement. You now possess the 11 immutable laws that govern financial success. You have seen how Obama transformed from a struggling community organizer to the most powerful person on earth. You have witnessed how Mandela converted 27 years of imprisonment into the moral authority to lead a nation. You have observed how Dangoteh built from a $3,000 loan to a multi-billion-dollar empire spanning continents. But knowledge without action is worthless. These laws are not suggestions. They are not options. They are not theories to be debated in academic circles. They are natural laws, as immutable as gravity, as reliable as sunrise, as certain as death. You can choose to ignore them, but you cannot escape their consequences. You can choose to violate them, but you cannot avoid their penalties. You can choose to deny them, but you cannot prevent their operation in your life. The choice before you. Right now, at this very moment, you stand at a crossroads. Down one path lies the comfortable familiarity of your current life, the same financial struggles, the same limitations, the same excuses, the same results. This path requires nothing from you except your continued acceptance of mediocrity. Down the other path lies uncertainty, challenge, growth, and ultimately, the financial freedom you claim to desire. This path demands everything from you, your comfort, your excuses, your small thinking, your victim mentality. Which path will you choose? The 48-hour challenge. I'm going to give you exactly 48 hours to prove to yourself that you're serious about financial freedom. 1. Write your definite purpose, specific amount, specific deadline, specific service you'll provide. 2. Identify 3 people for your mastermind alliance and contact them. 3. Eliminate one major time waster from your daily routine. 4. Take one concrete action toward your financial goal. 5. Begin your daily success ritual starting tomorrow morning. If you don't complete these 5 tasks within 48 hours, you have your answer about how serious you really are about changing your financial situation. The uncomfortable final truth. Your current financial situation is not an accident. It's not bad luck. It's not someone else's fault. It's not because of the economy, the government, your background, your education, or your circumstances. Your current financial situation is the perfect reflection of your current understanding and application of these laws. If you're broke, it's because you've been unconsciously applying the laws of poverty instead of the laws of wealth. If you're struggling, it's because you've been following the principles of struggle instead of the principles of success. But here's the empowering truth: if you created your current situation through your past understanding and application of these laws, you can create a different situation through your new understanding and application of these laws. The revolution begins now. This is not the end of a lecture. This is the beginning of your revolution. A revolution against mediocrity. A revolution against financial slavery. A revolution against the limiting beliefs that have kept you small. But revolutions are not won by armies, they are won by individuals who decide they've had enough of the status quo and are willing to pay the price for freedom. The question is not whether these laws work, they work whether you believe in them or not. The question is whether you work. Will you? Your financial freedom is not coming. It's not on its way. It's not going to arrive someday when conditions are perfect. Your financial freedom is here, right now, waiting for you to claim it through the intelligent application of these 11 immutable laws. The choice, my friend, is yours if you decide. Choose wisely. Choose quickly. Choose now. Your future self is watching. Welcome to your financial revolution. Welcome to your liberation. Welcome to the beginning of your new life. Now go and conquer.
Congratulations. You have reached the crossroads of your life. For the past hour, you've been handed the weapons of financial warfare, the same laws that turned Obama from a rejected candidate into a president, Dangoteh from a $3,000 loan into a billionaire, and Mandela from a prisoner into a liberator. But this knowledge is useless if it stays in your mind. Wealth obeys action, not intention. So what are you going to do with this special knowledge? Are you going to write your definite purpose now? Assemble your mastermind? Execute the 48-hour challenge? If you skip this, you've already failed. The truth will set you free, or keep you broke. Your current bank balance is a report card. It reflects how well you've applied, or ignore, these laws. No one is coming to save you. Not the government, not your family, not luck. You are your own savior. Fear is a liar. The obstacles you dread are the exact path to your breakthrough. If you close this lecture and return to excuses, procrastination, or fear, you've signed your own life sentence of mediocrity. But if you act now, you join the lineage of those who transformed pennies into empires. The clock starts now. Your financial revolution begins today. Timbuktu Lectures is a production of Kilimanjaro News Network, broadcasting in Swahili, Arabic, Hausa, English, and French. Don't forget to like, share and scan our QR code.